Are you stuck in this cycle of chaos and then seek comfort and then seek chaos and then seek comfort? And it's this kind of never-ending cycle of just this. I got stuck in that for so long. The problem was I was seeking comfort. And in seeking comfort, I actually started to create my own chaos because chaos was kind of what I knew. I was actually comfortable in the chaos. But when I get uncomfortable, I would want to return and revert right back to comfort. So many people get on this cycle and have shared, man, I do too. It's like I'm more comfortable in chaos than without chaos. And it's interesting because when we focus on, well, a lot of times it's not even conscious, but when we're creating our own chaos, it's at a huge expense. And then when things get too uncomfortable, then we look to sedate or to numb out. And we look for this comfort. And it's like we're training our brain actively, not on purpose, but training actively. All right, cool, we're still going. But training my brain actively to actually focus on seeking out comfort. And it's a very slippery slope. So one of the things I want to have you consider is, instead of thinking of comfort or chaos, what if we move from seeking comfort into the place of creation? Of looking at, what is it that I want to create? Now, in the infant stages, this can be a little overwhelming, so we don't have to go too far out into the future. But if I just think of actually right now in the next week or two, well, what do I want to create within this week? What does that look like for me? And you've heard me reference the 5 foundational freedoms, but we look at each freedom, we say, okay, how do I start creating? So first one, and they're in no particular order, but is fitness, my fitness and health. What do I want to start creating in my health? And most of the times people say, I want to stop poisoning myself. I want to stop having to be physically dependent on something. And so through detox and different tools, we actually help the person physically, but it's the mental game, it's the emotional game, it's this spiritual aspect that makes it so difficult for so many people. And that's really what we have to tackle. Believe it or not, the physical part is actually the simple part, because we can manage that with pharmacological agents. That is the very, very simple part. But once we get up here, now we can start looking at, what are we working for? What is it that we want to create? Most people say it all the time, I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I just want to be sober. And not to discount that, those are great, like I'll call them initial goals, but let's start looking at, you get to create whatever you want. This is the part that I fought for so long. And once I finally surrendered and said, okay, fine, I want to start creating different things. I want to create a life that I actually love and enjoy. Okay, well, what does that look like? Well, it looks like being able to wake up a certain way, being able to actually spend some time with my Creator and just be in this space of grace, being able to get what I call divine downloads. I want to be able to use my body for good. So I get to work out daily. I want my body to carry me well into my hundreds. So I know I'm going kind of far out, but in the beginning, what did it look like? It looked like, I ache when I get out of bed. I just don't want to ache. So when I start looking to go from comfort to creation, we can begin to create just on that fitness and health. Then there's another one. I'll just run through them real quick. Your faith. You've got your family and friends. You've got your finances and your feelings. As you start getting a little bit more clear, you learn to create the world that you desire. And that is where this whole recovery game becomes so much fun. So the question is, are you wanting to continue to create comfort and chaos? Or are you willing to let that go and now look to create the life that you desire?